Oh yeah, there's Tommy G visiting the most addicted city in America. We're gonna react to this, bro.
What does your first hit of meth feel like?
Superman.
Now we are seeing students as young as first grade, who have had drug issues.
Drug
What percent of
issues
guys that
in
are
first
slaying
grade?
things waste their
Nebraska. Why is there a mosquito on my shit? What?
Online, it says that Omaha is the most drug-addicted city in America. Does that surprise you?
The United States of America is facing a massive drug crisis. In 2021, over 106,000 people died from drug overdoses.
Nice,
This
bro.
is up 14% from 2020. The main culprit in this story is fentanyl.
Next to the fentanyl crisis wreaking havoc in communities across the country, overdoses, drug
I don't know
seizures,
shit
and
about
concerns
drugs.
continue to grow from
Never
coast
did
to
that shit.
coast.
Never will
The
do
victim
that
can
shit.
be
I don't know
seen
shit
buying
about
the
that shit.
fentanyl, then walking over to the front door of the gas station before collapsing.
A snapshot of America's fentanyl
What the fuck?
crisis. An average of
What the fuck are they doing? Am I tweaking? What are they doing?
one person every 10 hours.
Do they see a bug or something?
in this city of a fentanyl overdose.
A lot more people are dying, and it's in a lot of the drug supply, and people are doing it without knowing they're doing it.
Fentanyl was created in 1959 by Dr. Paul Janssen to be a more efficient alternative to morphine, and it's used in hospitals to help with surgeries and pain management. Due to its potency and how cheap it is to produce, drug dealers cut their products with fentanyl to stretch it and make it stronger. The journey of fentanyl to the United States is as follows. Much of it is created in China and India, and it's sold to Mexican criminal organizations like the Sinaloa cartel. It's then smuggled across the border, and it's been flooding the American streets.
Nice,
Today,
bro.
we visit the most drug-addicted city in America, Omaha, Nebraska. Top of the
Omaha?
nation for meth, cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. We speak with addicts, people in recovery, drug dealers, and law enforcement. Let's hit the streets.
Eyeglass cows.
First, we stop at University of Nebraska, Omaha, to speak with Coalition RX,
Wait,
a
Omaha's a
nonprofit
state?
dedicated to reducing drug use.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Omaha's a
Karen,
state?
It's nice
Since
to
when?
meet you.
nice to meet you too.
We're seeing big pharma on the streets, and we're seeing a lot of drugs, mainly fentanyl. And the bad thing about fentanyl is just little grams to kill you.
If you look at a drug dealer like a business operation, what's in it for them to lace things with fentanyl?
It's cheap, and it gives you a good kick of high.
It's one of the most dangerous drugs we've ever seen.
How is fentanyl getting into this country? Does anyone know the source, where it comes from, how it gets here?
The drugs are being manufactured in China, and they're being sold to the groups like Sinaloa in Mexico, and then trafficking it across the border.
Federal
fuck they let that
agents
shit
found
happen?
300,000 fentanyl pills and 11 pounds of fentanyl powder. Authorities say the SUV has crossed the U.S.-Mexico border multiple times.
Now
Nice,
we're
bro.
seeing
Like,
students
just don't stop them, bro.
as
Good shit.
young
Just let 'em
as
fucking-
first grade
No.
who have had drug issues. Oh, big pharma, in my mind, they are the people that needed to be held accountable. They've been getting off scot-free, if you ask me.
My son passed away when he was 18 from an accidental oxycodone overdose right here on this campus, actually. He had just finished.
Wait, I did all oxycodone before, but those are prescribed drugs, though. I did those drugs. Like, and, like, I was asking, like, I did morphine, all that shit. Like, morphine, bro. That shit knocks you the fuck out, bro. Like, 10 minutes, I'm done, bro. And it's like, it makes your body feel weird, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit makes your body feel weird, bro. And oxycodone, like, I never felt oxycodone. It just makes you go to sleep sometimes. But I don't never really feel it as much. You feel me? I don't really be feeling that shit.
And he didn't wake up that morning.
If we meet a drug dealer today that bolsters his business with fentanyl, what would be your message to that drug dealer? What would you like to say?
Well, I want them to think about their own child or their niece or nephew or the kid next door. Would they want that kid's life to end because of what they're doing to make a buck?
They don't go
They're
for
killing
it.
people's kids.
Addiction is giving up everything for one thing, but recovery is giving up one thing for everything.
How many people in this room has either had a family member or know of someone that has overdosed in their circle?
Yeah.
Since there's fentanyl in a lot of things, you can carry naloxone. So what you do is you put it into your nasal cavity. I don't have the test.
I put this up their nose.
You put this part, and then you just push down, and it will spray.
Corporal Crane was equipped with the nasal spray Narcan, a prescription medicine that rapidly reverses the effects of an overdose.
Thanks, you guys.
Take care.
Next, we had to speak to a former drug dealer that can give us insights on how narcotics are moving through this area.
So we're heading to a trap house in Omaha, talk to a dealer, get inside their head. Tell me about the drug scene in Omaha.
It's pretty active right now. I mean, when you hit us up saying that there's an epidemic level, I honestly thought to myself, I was like, well shit, the drugs have always really been here. One of the big things right now is meth, a lot of overdoses.
Does that make you nervous being in the game?
This may be a little nervous, not gonna lie, because nobody really knows, understands what they're doing nowadays, you know what I mean?
What do you view as the impact of fentanyl coming into the game?
It's honestly a travesty because it just kills people.
So what percent of guys that are slaying you think lace their shit?
I just assume everybody, because at the end of the day, when they get it, they themselves sometimes don't know if it's been stepped on or cut or anything, you know what I mean?
Tell me about the journey of how drugs get to America and how Omaha is a central point of that.
The way I understand it is just because we're on I-80, Interstate 80, everything gotta come and go through here at some point in time. That's why, like Nebraska, they call it the gauntlet, because we make so many drug busts on the interstate.
Have you ever felt bad for a customer?
At the end of the day, people are grown, it's their own responsibility to handle their shit, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do the drugs, not let the drugs do you, whatever it is you're doing.
What made you decide to get into the game?
I did it out of necessity, like out of survival, because I lost my job, a lot of different things were going on, I got in trouble with the law, and I was just trying to figure myself out.
And what kind of things went down in this house that we're at?
This place, man, everything used to go down here. Literally everything. Meth, coke, crack, weed, everything. Like, I got out in 2019, but I went away before it ever even got raided.
What was your childhood like?
It was pretty regular.
Yeah. Do your parents know what you've been up to?
Do they know everything? No, but my mom, I love my mom, so she had an idea.
Does it surprise you to hear that Omaha is the most drug-addicted city in the country?
It kind of does.
Big Pharma, what role do you think they play in this whole game?
I think they play a big role. Because a lot of the stuff that people are exposed to wasn't around.
This man got the, he got a sniper gang
a mother of someone that had died from drug overdose. What would you say to her?
Sorry for your
got
loss.
that Kodak shit.
The person makes their own choice at the end of the day. Nobody forced them to do that. I feel sorry for them.
Is there like a code on the streets, like most dealers won't deal to kids, or do you know of any guys that'll sell to a 5th grader or a 6th grader?
I think if anybody got the money, anybody will serve it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
If you could retire from this profession, what would you get into?
I'd like to do what you're doing.
YouTube? You like to do YouTube?
Next, we head to a part of Omaha where drug addicts and homeless people are living in tents on the street to get their story and hear what their life is like.
Omaha is known as the most drug-addicted city in America.
It is. I'm with the outreach program. I'm a psychologist. Fentanyl is the worst thing in the world. They used it when they put you under to do surgery. They quit using it when it disappeared off the docks. They went to Mexico. It comes back to the United States. They stomp on it. What stomping means, they mix it with other things. Young cats like you get it.
What can you tell us about life here?
Difficult, hot, resources are slim.
Do you survive out here all day?
Yeah, I'm here 24/7.
What gets someone to a point that they're willing to be outside in a tent in 90-degree heat?
To get away. Sometimes it's better to be out here than it is to be in an abusive situation. And guess what? It could happen to you two guys too.
What's the drug that's running through Omaha right now?
Meth, crack, there's some cocaine and weed. Pretty much anything you want to find is pretty much everywhere.
Right here.
Nice,
I got out of the situation that I was in and ran out of funds, so I got stuck here until I can get enough funds up to be able to get into a place.
People aren't bad. They've had a bad situation, but sometimes the system doesn't allow that.
What could the system change, or what could be better about the system?
Other psychologists, psychiatrists, outreach programs, hospitals where they can take their medication, etc., etc. They can live a normal life.
This is kind of the Skid Row of Omaha, I would say.
Hell yeah, this the bottom. I can't get my fucking ID. They f***ing with me. They keep talking about they care about the people that's
she a fucking crackhead. Look here, bro. Her phone probably not even on, bro. Like,
they f***ing with me. They keep
like her phone not even probably on, cause she a fucking crackhead, bro.
Keep talking about they care about the people that's homeless. They don't want you to put your tents up nowhere. Why the f we can't put our tents up nowhere and y'all not trying to help us?
I had suspicions about this guy, so I called the Sienna Francis house to see if he worked there. They said he was not a psychiatrist on staff. He was a patient. Today we meet John, a former addict helping other people on the path to recovery outside the Sienna Francis house,
Nice, think
which is a
alive,
place
bro.
leading the charge in helping the homeless, but also one of the highly concentrated areas of drug addicts in the city. It's a sketchy place that plays a central role in this story.
The most drug-addicted city in America is arguably Omaha, Nebraska. Does that surprise you to hear?
That's the first time I've heard that. I know it's bad here, the fentanyl epidemic, the opioid crisis. I know it's known for the methamphetamine use, but yeah, it's getting worse and worse.
So I've got a for-profit counseling agency, Halo Counseling Center. I've been doing that for about the last 8 years, started that in 2015. So we do a lot of work with like the criminal justice system. Most of our referrals come from probations, drug courts, veterans courts, things like that. It's insane. I mean, our business just continues to grow. I started off with just me, myself, and I, and now we're up to 8 counselors, 5 offices, and we still can't keep up.
What got you into this?
So I got my own history. In 2006, I was out on the streets smoking meth. I was involved in a raid September 11, 2006, and was arrested, charged with conspiracy to distribute 500 grams of meth. So I was just with the guy that was doing it, basically. I was his right-hand man. So
That's where it started for me, where my sobriety got started, was that treatment facility right there. Used to be a lot of tents out here. If we end up walking down farther that way, you'll see a lot of tents and everything where the people choose not to go into the shelter. You know, they're either not ready yet or it's just not for them.
How did you become sober?
I got arrested, which is my sober date, August 26th of 2020, and arrested for methamphetamine. I went to jail for 6 months, and I've been battling drug addiction for probably the last 10 years. And so I was arrested, sat in jail for 6 months. I came over here. I was here for 7 months, and then went to the halfway house, and then just been trying to get my life back together slowly but surely.
It seems like jail is a lot of people's sober day.
Yeah, absolutely. Some sort of higher power, man, that gave me the option to do a program that we offer here, and if I graduate that program, I get the felony removed from my records.
once I got into jail, it was almost a sense of relief because I had attempted sobriety, some feeble attempts, didn't really reach out to get any real help. Then when I was charged federally, then it just became a fear factor. Once you see the United States of America versus John Sapensky, that tends to tighten some things up in the old body there.
What does your first hit of meth feel like?
Superman, euphoria, energy. I was at work, I was mowing lawns, and I had a hangover from the night before, and my boss was like, dude, what's wrong? What's going on, man? Usually, you're doing a good job at work. Man, I got a hangover, I feel like crap, whatever. He's like, go talk to my brother. So I went and talked to the brother. He pulls out a bag of meth, took a big old snort, and I'm mowing lawns like nobody's business. I'm running around with a weed eater and just tearing people's lawns apart. It was glorious.
So it started out pretty innocent.
Yeah, within weeks, I'm staying up for days on end. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to work at 6. I need to get more dope. Can't find any more dope. Can't go to work. And the cycle began.
My first experience with it was I was using marijuana at the time, and my friend came over, and I took a hit of meth, and it really didn't do anything for me then. I don't know if it was because I was already prescribed amphetamines, legal amphetamines. And then years down the road, after I got into some trouble in a different city, I was on probation, and I was kind of trying to be clean, and a girl said to me that I was seeing at the time, she said, well, this will make sex better. Of course, I'm all for it. If it's going to make sex better, why not?
Nice, bro.
How'd you find your way here? What's your story?
I got in trouble with the law. I was addicted to meth for like 13 years.
Damn, everybody.
What was your first introduction to meth?
That
How'd you
good?
start
Damn.
When I was 16 years old, we used to drink a lot with my friends and stuff, and I got introduced to it one night. It was like something to just stay awake, to party more, and then it became like an everyday thing. I went to jail.
How long did you serve?
I was in there for 3 months.
Did that help you on the road to sobriety?
If I would have got out and just went back on the streets, I'd probably be back on drugs right now.
What should the punishment be for a dealer that's selling people meth?
Definitely jail time.
What was the low point of your meth journey?
Right before I came here, I lost custody of my girls. I lost the love of my life.
Damn.
I'm facing like 17 years in prison right now. If you're struggling with drug addiction, you got to find your higher power. You got to believe in something higher than you.
Wait, hold on. You said what? 17 years on what?
I lost the love of my life. I'm facing like 17 years in prison right now. If you're struggling with drug addiction, you got to find your higher power. You got to believe in something higher than you. If you need help, it's always nice to reach out to somebody that you love and tell them the problems you're going through.
Our next stop is talking to drug dealer Shakedown, who is currently facing federal time for her narcotics operation. We wanted to talk to someone that had hands-on experience with fentanyl. Here's what we learned.
How would you describe yourself?
Just try to get a dollar, take care of my people.
So what are you currently up against right now?
Facing about 9 to 10 years, manufacturing, methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine. I've spent 5 years already in prison. You know, I mean, this is federal time, so it's gonna be different.
Do you think there's any shot of beating the case, or what are you looking at?
No, I don't think so. It's nothing that's gonna stop me from going to prison for some time. I ain't started, really hustling, like selling narcotics and whatnot until 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Before that, I was hitting licks, like robbing people, going to people's cars, going to people's houses, and doing what I could to just stay afloat. I was introduced to selling drugs, and I was like, damn, I ain't gotta beat nobody up no more. I ain't gotta do all this. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta do all this. Put my life at risk, put your life at risk. You know what I mean? You put people through that. You put people's kids through that.
Have you ever felt bad for a customer?
Before I ever started selling fentanyl, I lost my girlfriend. My girlfriend before this, I didn't give a f. I was like, if I'm gonna lose somebody, y'all gonna lose somebody. I kind of like,
damn, nigga, what the fuck?
What are the drugs that are going through Omaha right now?
Nigga,
what are the
if I'm
biggest
going down, we
drugs that
all
people
going
are
down
selling?
type shit.
Fentanyl super heavy right now. They don't even want heroin no more. Fentanyl is synthetic heroin. That's what they going for. They want that shit immediately.
What was your childhood like?
I was in the system. I was locked up. Like, I've been locked up since I was 14.
What were you booked for?
Holy shit.
Distributing and conspiring to confederate methamphetamine, fentanyl, and cocaine over 400, but less than 700 grams.
How much money does all that cost?
That'd be like 50,000.
And then what can you flip that into?
You get 50,000 straight up, but you ain't find people, you gonna flip that to 150,000 easy.
The first hit of fentanyl, what is that like?
If you are constantly a person that deals with trauma and traumatic situations, it's gone for a minute, you know what I mean?
Do you think most drug users and even drug sellers are running away from trauma, and drugs are kind of the way to like patch up the pain?
Hell yeah. I feel like it's never the drugs. It's
hey, hold on, she said 50,000, right?
That made you,
let me see this. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if this shit gonna work. Let me see. 50,000. 50K. Divided by 700. So wouldn't that be like $72 per gram? Or per like couple grams? Right? Am I tripping? Am I dumb, chat? I think I'm dumb. Am I stupid?
Earlier this morning we met with the mom of a kid who overdosed, and it's just her son's death has impacted the whole family. It has a trickle effect. What would you say to the parents of people that have overdosed?
I've been through it, so it's like I don't, you know what I mean? People make their own choices, and you just gotta stop them from making those choices, not by telling them what to do.
What's the youngest person you would say that has come to buy drugs from you?
13, 14.
What does it cost for a serving of fentanyl?
If you buy it in bulk, I can get it for $1.25.
And what do you sell it for?
$30.
I wish you the best.
I appreciate you.
Tell me a little bit about your story.
Well, I was living out in Omaha, and the Perk 30s were really huge, and that's how I started using,
I've heard that in rap songs.
Yep.
Perk 10, I just popped up Perk 10. Perk 30, I just popped up Perk 30. Perk 6, snoozing like he on Perk 30. Snoozing like he on Perk 30.
Everyone talks about the Perk 30s. They glamorize using the Perk 30s, getting fucked up on the Perk 30s, but honestly, laced with fentanyl, super addictive. A lot of it is the chemical dependency in your body. It's not so much you wanting to get high anymore, it's your body physically needs it. My drug addiction really took everything from me. The number one thing on my mind all the time was getting high and using.
How long have you been clean for?
I've been clean for 70 days.
What is your plan to make sure you don't fall back?
Those withdrawals, man, when I went through withdrawals and treatment, it felt like I was on my deathbed, Couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I was throwing up, and that's a big reason why I feel like I can't go back, is just because I know the hold that it'll have on my life. I was spending $500 a week on my drug habit.
What was rock bottom for you?
I was staying in someone else's house, no money, selling my own things on Facebook, so that way I had money to get high, and even then I was maybe using one time a day and I was still really sick. Addiction doesn't discriminate, People think that it's only low-class people who get addicted to drugs, but honestly, anyone can get addicted to drugs. I was very fortunate growing up. When I was finally on my own, I met a man who kind of veered my life in a different direction, and I chose to take that path.
I can't imagine what it's like doing your job in this area. What is it like?
You get used to it. I mean, that's what you signed up for, right?
What would you do to help a city like this?
I really don't have an answer for you.
I guess you can either invest money into the incarceration side, or you can invest money into the rehabilitation side.
You gotta go for rehabilitation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to help people as best you can. You don't want to incarcerate them for life.
What percent of the calls you would say you have to answer to are drug related?
Probably more than half.
We appreciate what you're doing, and thank you.
Yeah, you all take care, all right?
Damn, bro. I ain't gonna lie, these niggas some shell, bro. I don't know how people just do drugs like that. Like, I did prescribe shit, but like, it's not like to the point, oh my gosh, I need that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, usually when I had the drugs, it was because of pain. Like, I needed it because of pain, bro.
You